Hello everyone and welcome back to Entrepreneur Zone. Today we're going to be talking about how Dan Bilzerian get exposed for faking everything. Make sure you stay till the end so you don't miss out on some huge details on how Dan Bilzerian get exposed big time. You'll be absolutely shocked. The supposed king of Instagram. Does the name Dan Bilzerian ring a bell? If so, it may be because you've heard his name in a fraud case. But let us back up a bit. This guy is known as the king of Instagram, and his 32 million follower count may explain why. Also, if you look at his photos, you will see bikini-clad models, stacks and stacks of cash, expensive alcohols, yachts, gateways, and all the staples of a life of extravagance. This may seem alright from a distance, but peel back the curtain and you will see all the juicy secrets. Dan Bilzerian may be a poker-playing entrepreneur, but he was recently exposed for faking just about every aspect of his life. Shocking? It's just as terrible as it sounds. So, are all of the posts on Instagram fake? Well, no, that's real, but the way he developed his lifestyle is through fraudulent means. Let's take a look, shall we? The problem with Ignite. In 2017, Dan Bilzerian founded a company called Ignite. This company specializes in CBD oils, yet they also sell vodka, water bottles, electronic cigarettes, and even clothing. It was meant to be a premium lifestyle brand, led by the king of luxury himself. This sounded like a simple premise. It sounded like a good one too. But it soon came under fire and had many claims of fraud behind it. The company reported a loss of $15 million in 2019, and just how they get to that kind of loss is a messy and shady story. To start, we need to look behind the scenes of Ignite. The company itself made money, but that earning was not enough to keep them afloat, as they were not able to turn a profit. They mostly make money through selling their stocks and through investors and loans, but their budgets and expenses are all out of proportions. Ignite is a brand available in Canada, the United States, Mexico, the United Kingdom, and several other countries. This worldwide domination should have led them somewhere, yet they were unable to keep up. To start, look at how this company throws parties. CEO Dan Bilzerian obviously loves a good party, and he brought that love for partying into his company. Huge mistake, because each party can cost millions of dollars once you add up the cost of the models, the expensive alcohols, the houses, all of that. On top of that, Bilzerian is also spending money on unnecessary things. Let's take a closer look on a recent issue. Dan Bilzerian fired Ignite's vice president under mysterious and unknown reasoning. Once he was let off, he gave a statement to the public about why he was fired. He claimed that Bilzerian got upset over an unapproved budget. This budget came with expenses for a $15,000 ping pong table and a $40,000 rock climbing wall. Obviously, these aren't necessary to the company's growth, and they also certainly aren't cheap. This led to a lawsuit from the former vice president of Ignite after his unjust firing. These claims and statements of how the company was spending its money got them into loads of trouble. The public began to distrust Dan and his company. They even found possible evidence that Dan Bilzerian's father, Paul Bilzerian, may be behind some of Ignite's financial decisions. Paul Bilzerian is a famous fraudster who was behind bars for 13 months following convictions for fraud. He claims he was innocent, but he was found to be guilty. Because of this, he's no longer allowed to run a public business. That is why it's so shocking to find out that he allegedly takes part in meetings for Ignite and helps Dan make decisions. Could this be the main contributing factor as to why Ignite is such a fraudulent company? Faking it for Instagram. Instagram is important for a company. It's also a place where company CEOs may show off their wealth and success. Take a look at Ignite CEO Dan Bilzerian's Instagram. The absolute luxury of it all. But how much of that can be trusted? Some have stepped forward and claimed that it's all fake. To understand it, let's look at what the content holds. Those yachts, well, those are actually just rentals. How about the models at the parties, the photo shoots, and the gateways? Dan Bilzerian paid them to be there. He spends a lot of money in order to seem wealthy on Instagram and social media. But his truth is coming out. The worst part is that the money may not have even come from Dan Bilzerian's own wallet. Remember when we said that Ignite has lost tens of millions of dollars? Well, one reason may be because Dan Bilzerian is using company money to fund his luxurious, extravagant, and highly expensive lifestyle. He apparently spent company money for things like yacht rentals. If this turns out to be true, that would be a huge blow for Ignite, and maybe the nail in the coffin for the company. The company is predicted to go bankrupt and fail completely within the coming months. And that could be terrible for Dan Bilzerian's Instagram. He remains strong though, with apparent giveaways of his products that are worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. He even offered money to whoever come up with a name for one of his books. He still seems to have the money to do things, but is the money honest? The Ignite logo is everywhere. Dan Bilzerian loves to show off. That is apparent on his Instagram account. He shows off everything. You can see stacks of money, tons of women, and unimaginable trips to far-off lands. The world seems to lay in Dan Bilzerian's hands, but he is proven to be faking quite a bit, including his own wealth. A lot of what he posts will include the Ignite logo, and this isn't just for promotional use. That is so he can use company money and have an excuse for it. The fake nature of his life has caught up to him though, and many have become suspicious as to why all of these items have to have the Ignite logo on it. Guns, for example. Dan Bilzerian was in the military and he loves guns. But what would a CPD company needs guns for? It doesn't make sense. The only logical explanation is that Dan Bilzerian is scamming money out of his own company. This is yet another fraudulent case against the guy. This can also be backed up by employees of the company. Some have stepped forward with details of Dan Bilzerian's shadiness. An anonymous employee said, "Ignite pays for everything. Models, events, yachts. Dan would just have it wrapped with the Ignite logo and all of a sudden it was an Ignite expense and he would send the bill. Pools, trampolines, and his personal events that had nothing to do with the business." This statement shows just how far Dan Bilzerian is willing to push the limits. Company funds being used for his own leisure, or is it just a way to keep his followers engaged in his posts? Using his company as an excuse, Dan Bilzerian rents out most things, so he can have it just long enough to make people believe he's bought it. This happened with his own home. He claims to have bought this huge mansion, when in fact, turned out he was only renting it out. Same thing goes for the yachts he loves to post about. He never bought any of these, he just rented them out. And he used company money to do so, absolutely shady. Is Dan Bilzerian a fake? So the biggest question you may have is Dan Bilzerian a fake? Let's recap what we have learned from him. He tends to lie. He has lied numerous times about his wealth. He stated that he bought his mansion for $64 million, when in fact he was just renting it out for $200,000 a month. He shows off his apparent yachts when it turns out he was using company money to rent them out temporarily. Does he actually own anything? It seems as though Dan Bilzerian rents most things out, so he has a chance to post about it on social media and make people believe he has that wealth. The fact is, he spends more than he saves, and because of this, his company Ignite tanked. Through his lies and deceit, the fraud of his company, and the extremely lavish life he lives, it has become easy to see past the smoke and mirrors he has set up. The statements and claims have been made. The lawsuits have been filed. Dan Bilzerian cannot escape the fact that he fooled many people. Not only his Instagram followers, but his paying customers and investors as well. With that much on the line, he really decided to risk it all for a chance of notoriety. And because of that, he has proven one thing about himself to be true: he is in fact a fake. While you're here, go ahead and click one of these videos on your screen, and see you there.